Alrighty, peace, love, and law to everybody. How y'all doing in here today?
Bless.
Peace and love, Chief.
Peace and love.
For life, feel me, man. Not as prepared as I wanted to be for you guys today. I've been steady doing a lot of stuff of getting in this house and stuff like that, but appreciate you guys' patience. I almost didn't even have this one today. I'm so tired, but we're gonna make it happen anyway though. But we'd like to welcome you guys to In God We Trust Academy podcast, and today is our work session, season 6 day, and we're just gonna go over some Q&As with you guys. I'm gonna pick you guys' brains again today, see where y'all mind is about a couple different things that we're gonna be speaking on today. So make sure that you guys can hear me loud and clear. But if you can see the screen though, you already know I have a special thing coming up for you guys. It will be this month, Saturday, May 31st. So if you having trouble or never put a trust together, this is for beginners. If you already got one, great. I don't know. It's totally up to you, but just giving the people the opportunity here. Saturday, May 31st, in May. So yeah, 2025 this year. So some people ask, like, was it when next year or something? But anyway, at 3 p.m. Central Time, we're gonna do a live stream. The donation is $50 here. So this is for anybody that wants to know how to put together a trust, We're going to fully explain everything to you and also show you exactly what to do and how to do it. And this is just the declaration of trust itself, which actually is pretty much what starts the trust in the beginning, which is the corpus. Anyway, so we're going to make sure that you guys know how to do this. So y'all spread the word out there to your people that, that's interested in doing this, or, they can go to somebody and they could be charged thousands of dollars, whatever. It's totally up to them. But right now we're giving you an opportunity for 50 bucks, 50 buckaroos, as they say. So that way you can, you know, fully come in here, and y'all already know once I'm going to deliver the same, just as if this class was $200, $300, or $400 or whatever the case. Still going to be packed with a lot of great information in it. So be ready to do that. Like I say, this is for all the new beginners, the newbies that's just jumping into this and want to know about trust and trying to learn about trust. Or even if it's just you guys in here as well that don't really have a trust, heard plenty about a trust. Well, here's your opportunity now to be able to come and do this. So make sure you get in, because I'm pretty sure these seats are going to go very fast. So get in, get in, get in. And I'm really excited to do that again for you guys. Also, in the future, I still haven't decided this yet, but we're gonna do a Lawful Moneys, the People's Remedy. So, um, yes, this is an ebook already, but I'm definitely gonna do a full class on this. Probably make it a conference. So, just gonna go back and just show everybody literally what it is and expecting and broken down. So, we already took. No, you haven't took this class. Trust me. It's going to be way more informative. Way more stuff is going to be put into this, as always. And just, just by different questions and things like that that has been asked, or what you're actually looking for when you do these things. And also being able to fully enforce these things as well. So keep that in mind. All right. Also, the hidden ledger class is going to be coming too as well. I think I'm going to do this in July. So we're still trying to determine where we're going to go in July. Right now, we know we're going to be in June 19th. We're going to be in Seattle. So June 20th and the 21st. We'll be in Seattle at that time. But for sure, we know we're going to go to I haven't decided, man. We was thinking about Phoenix. We was also thinking about, I don't know, my wife was thinking about going back to Houston. So I don't know. We'll figure that out real soon, probably before this month over there, with where we're gonna go and be able to do this class and get to moving around. We've been sitting for since what's the last place we went? I think Tampa. So yeah, we've been sitting since then, for real. So we'll be ready to do this class. This class is gonna, like I say, it's just gonna teach you about all the money that you deposit and how the bank take your money that you deposit and they go and create more money, etc., loaning out to people and stuff like that, and how you are supposed to be able to, get your interest out of it. That because you do have money that belongs to you, and a lot of people don't know this. So we're going to teach you exactly what to do and how to move in on that particular situation as well. So then we got the People's Private Bank, as I was saying. So this is June the 20th and the 21st, Seattle, Washington. So it will be a live stream. You can do in person as well. So live stream is $200, in person is $250. And then we also got an $800 package as well, where we put together your private bank trust together for you and show you exactly how to maneuver with it, show you how to take your goods and your services, etc., and turn these things into your own currency, which will also make you fully tax exempt, because you're not receiving or being paid by or dealing with some particular US dollar, etc., right? So we're just gonna show you how to do that. And people are like, well, what if they gotta use the US dollar to purchase the currency? Well, that's the thing. It goes into a trust, and it automatically tax exempt when it hits the trust. And then so you can look at it as like it's being the form of a foreign exchange that's happening here, and how to maneuver those services, how to create your community, how to build up your clientele with this, as well, and just create a system to where they're able to use your community, how to build up your clientele with this as well, and just create a system to where they're able to use your specific currency. And a lot of people think, oh, you got to don't have to be anything like that, cryptocurrency. You can do that way, but hey, why not just create a ledger? Because that's what this is in the first place. And just make sure that you keep up. You can do it by time, you can do it by whatever. It's totally up to you though. But definitely gonna show you guys how to maneuver with those as well. So keep that into your memory bank. All right. Also, stay in touch with us on In God We Trust Academy on YouTube, In God We Trust Academy on Facebook, as well as myself, Eric Ingram Bay, and Grand Wazir _ MNRP on Instagram, MNRP 619 2020 on TikTok as well. And also In God We Trust Academy on Twitch as well. And you can go to our website, ingodwetrustacademy.com. You can see all the different things that are there. All the ebooks that we have created in season 6 will be going up on there. So if you're just interested in the ebooks itself, you guys are going to be able to go get those as well. So just to make sure, I know a lot of people have been asking about that. So, and I did mention the course that we're going to be having on Teachable. So I'll pretty much have that course up. Going to be a actual $50 course to teach you how to deal with foreclosure, etc. So if anybody that's interested in that, they'll be able to go to there, set up an account, etc., and go fully in on being able to handle their business in that way. So that is also going to be posted as well. So, and you're going to want to join the In God We Trust Academy school. It's going to be a lot of special things that I'm going to do specifically on that platform and only on that platform only. So you definitely want to go and, once we put everything out, go and join, at least join. And whenever certain courses come out, you can, choose for yourself. But for the most part, there will be certain classes that it won't happen here. It won't happen on Facebook. It won't happen on none of this. It'll just be strictly in our school. So we're going to get everybody registered up for school. Have y'all orientation coming up. So hey, that used to be one of the most crankest days of school, orientation day. Boy, you get to see everybody, right? So, but we're definitely going to be able to, got a lot of other things that's going to be going on here for us. But the biggest advantage right now, I will say, take care of the declaration of trust. So how many of you in here don't have a trust right now? Speak up. All y'all got a trust? Okay.
No, I don't have one.
But everybody else in here do, right?
I do. I don't.
Yes.
Okay. I see.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, if you don't, this is going to be a class to take to show you to set that particular trust up for you. Now, the thing is, this is just the declaration of trust, which creates the trust. Now, the trust can have many other different contracts, so do know that. And if you choose to do those things, then you can go do In God We Trust conference, and then you can have all those other different things. But for the most part, for beginners, this is what you need: a declaration of trust, which actually puts the trust together. And you can declare, you can convey a few things. I'll probably add a few conveyances in it too, as well, just to, because a lot of people feel like they don't have nothing, but you do have something. You do have yourself. You have your income. You have whatever the case may be that you want to place into this trust as well. All right. Now, I hear a lot of people say they do got a trust, but how many of y'all don't know how to operate it? That's the thing. And that's a major thing. I see a lot of people get trust and pay a lot of money for trust, but don't have a clue about, and then they're the trustee of the trust, but cannot protect it. And that is always going to be a major problem. Administration is the key to this whole entire thing, right? All right, so we're going to hit the record button and we're going to get started. Going to get started. All righty, good family. Welcome to Work Session Season 6 In God We Trust Academy. And it is hosted by In God We Trust Academy, presented to you by myself, Eric Ingram Bay. And as always, I give thanks for you guys' time, everything that you do to make this possible, all your testimonies and everything like that as well. Just a beautiful thing that we have here and been doing for quite some time. I actually seen a old post from Work Session back from 2022. So we've been at it for a minute. Strong too. So for anybody been asking all the time, like, well, why you charge? Well, we've been doing free classes since 2022. And then at that time we were Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So yeah. We got a lot of hours in this for sure. We probably over about 10,000 hours for sure. What y'all think? That's been around since season 1. I think for sure we over 10,000 hours.
Most definitely.
Yeah, we definitely over it because it's so much in season 1 that, man, we didn't even put out because it was just so much, and we needed to backtrack to find everything, but it's a lot. But we are here now, and by having 10,000 hours, that makes us masters of something, so, within this realm, some kind of way, right? And with that being said, let's jump into this. All praise to the Almighty, man, for everything that is going on, everything that brought up to this present moment, and just making this possible for us as well. And that we continue to do the will of God and in our daily lives, and to continue to love and help one another in the best way that we possibly can, for sure. Everything that you hear from this point forward is for educational, religious purposes only. So anybody seeking any form of legal advice, please do seek a legal advisor. Now, what I want to say is this, man. I appreciate everybody that does respect my time and everything, that, especially when I say I got something going on, I'm doing whatever. I appreciate that. Seriously. But there are some who just feel like their life is more important than what I got going on, and that I can literally save the whole entire world. As much as I wish I was Superman like that, I'm not. Okay? I can't save and do for every single individual. I don't know. Some messages I get, some I don't. Some go to spam. Some get overlooked because it's so many emails or messages. Like, so, and I'm not gonna sit there every single day and go and read every single one, as much as I would like to. But I do have children. I do got a family. I do other things in life besides sit here and wait on somebody to send me a message for me to answer a question. I have a lot going on, especially during this time. So, through this moving process, and just had a cousin that just passed, and that I ain't even really even got to mourn over that situation at all. I ain't even get to go to the memorial service or anything like that. But it's just, it's like I say, it's just a lot, and people really don't never know what's going on in your life, what you going. Like, I'm not exempt from a lot of anything, just like you guys are not either. So I don't speak on a lot of stuff because I really shouldn't have to. If I say I need time, I'm doing this or whatever, just respect it. And I know that people got situations going on, but here's the thing. A lot of y'all ask questions that I promise y'all, family, it ain't nothing but to Google and ask the same question you asking me. Ask it to Google. Pull it up. Do your full research. Take your time. Sit there. Read. The more information that you take in for yourself, the more you're going to be prone to this, you know, to the information, to that when you hear these specific words that's going to be said to you, you know, you will be in certain places and you know what's being said, you know what's being talked about. You can see exactly what's going on, especially when we talk about these court situations and stuff. And like, you got to go to court and you just watch all the people who just waving rights and not asserting their rights. And, you know, people think they have a right. Well, I know my rights. You might know of your rights, but you cannot assert it. You cannot protect it. So, and, you know, you can't just take everything at its face value. You have to go into deep study within yourself too and start, you know, reading and picking these things apart. Go get you a Black's Law dictionary. Somebody always asks me which one or whatever. Like, just get one. Buy all of them if you want to. But my point is, certain ones dealt with more, like there are certain ones that deal more with banking or this or that. It's just up to you. But I have the sixth, I have the fourth, and then I have the fifth edition. I on online they do what, like it's the 11th edition online. They do the most, something like that. But either or, it's still good. And it all comes from of case laws and stuff like that as well. So just make sure that you know, this got to be something you want. And if it's something that you want, go get it. And everybody's not going to want it like you either. And I always know that as well. So, you know, don't fault yourself for what you're going to make happen and create throughout this. And, you know, for those of you guys that do have the testimonies and stuff like that, hey, you put in that work. You went and made it happen. And for those that just want to sit around and be lazy and don't do nothing, man, you don't owe them nothing, yo. I promise you, you don't. And you got to know that. So I know a lot of people will jump in y'all inboxes time they hear you do something and, hey, what's your process? What'd you do? And this and that. Hey, it's cool. If you want to give it and help, help. But you're not obligated to have to do a damn thing. Seriously, you're not. And I have to say that because it can be overwhelming. Everybody don't like to do what I do. And when people start coming at you, one, people are not going to give a F about you. I promise you they're not. They don't care if you are suffering or in any of that. They're not going to care for you like that. They just want the information to pass you on and keep it going. Yeah, I think I'm playing, don't y'all? I'm serious though. Seriously. And you have great people. You have great people that's gonna care, they're gonna uplift you, they're gonna encourage you, they're going to appreciate you, gonna meet great people. I'm saying that as well too, but there are a lot of people who they're just here to be a leech. Suck what they can from you and keep going. On to the next. So, you know, if you feel like that's something you want to do, then you can give to others in a way that you best can. But again, for the most part, guys, don't feel no type of way if you just don't feel like it. Y'all got that?
Got it.
Got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you shouldn't, man. A lot of, you know, you put in all these hours to study, to grind, no sleep, tears sometimes because you know you got to get this done. You make it happen, and then someone say, "Hey, well," start calling your names because you're not just giving it to them in a certain type of way or whatever the case may be, and you know. But you can tell that same person, like, okay, well, give me your whole check every time that you go to work and let me put food in my house every time. Like, just give me your check. That's the same thing you're asking us to do, and it's stupid. Seriously. And I don't think people think like that. They don't say this to their teachers at school. Why y'all paying for school? Why y'all paid these college professors and all these people for so long? Nobody said a damn thing to them. Hey, just give us the information. Nobody said that, right?
Right.
What makes this any different, yo? That's what I want to know. What makes this different? Nothing.
It's not.
But people do it that way. They treat it that way, and I steer away from people who I see like act like that. Man, listen, I try. If I some of y'all coming here with these best different different names and stuff like that, that's crazy. I can't really tell, but if I know some people who I know I'm looking for, you're out of here. I know. I know a lot of stuff that I don't even say nothing about. I know people got a lot of my stuff that they're doing in private on YouTube and giving it out to people, certain shit like that. We got people that ain't never even bought the class, always requesting, so somebody then sends it to somebody else. And that's not really fair to those who have took the time to put their energy from their hard work and labor or however they made their money. It's not fair to them either. But it happens though, man. Just like the individual who took the class for $500, yo. And I did everything that I was supposed to do. And they went and tried to do a chargeback. So that's why I had to change the signature agreement. So now when y'all see the signature agreement, it's no more signing with aliases anymore. It's either your legal name or don't take the class. I don't care. And you're going to agree to fully, if you do any form of shit like that, chargebacks and all of those stuff, schemes that y'all doing, you fully agree to be sued for $5,000 to $10,000. Simple. And you really shouldn't have a problem with it if you're not on what? No scheming. You ain't on no games. So it shouldn't be a problem. We should never even have a problem. But it's crazy and sad that I have to do that. But I do have to in order to protect myself, time, and energy. Because all you got to do is just tell me, like, the best thing is this. Like, if it's something that you feel, you're not going to do Walmart like that. Right? And this is important to what I'm saying because energy is everything. And energy that you carry is what's going to go continue to carry with you. You can try to do good things and great stuff in a lot of different situations, but guess what? It's not going to turn out right for you because of the energy that you're carrying around with you. It can energy blockage is real. Y'all know that?
Most definitely.
You
Yes,
can you can be
indeed.
in here with the
Yep.
same people doing the same thing, right? And everybody in here doing the same exact thing. And then a lot of people are getting immediate results since all of this, right? Then you got some people who don't get nothing as long as they've been in here. They got the most negative attitude towards it. As soon as they get through, they get out here calling people scammers and all of that. I watch a lot of people participate in mess, and I don't want that around me, man. I see it, and now I already know how to feel about certain people when I see y'all talking about other people that teach and they do this, and just because something didn't go to the way you want, and I'm like, okay, I see you. I'm already watching you, so you can't do me like that. I'm gonna make sure you can't do me like that. Yep. And if anybody was to try to do me like that, well, let's just go to court. Let's find out. Let's see who wins. It's easy, very easy. But enough about that, though, man. I just really wanted to express and share that, though. Like, this is a real thing that we're doing here. But we got any testimonies? Anybody got a testimony today? Testimony time. Tracy, what's up?
Well, I do want to say that I have a testimony. Um, I was going through, I had two collections on my credit report, and I've got one of them came off. The other one, I took it to the CFPB, and I'm still waiting on them to I guess, hear back with that. They said it would be up to 60 days. But I just still consider that a win.
Absolutely. And consider
Yes.
that. Consider what you have done as well. That's going to be a win as well. So as soon
Yeah.
as they get through, they're going to let you know you won.
Okay. Yes, thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Man, first time you ever applied for a credit card, et cetera, ain't nobody told us nothing. Just go out there. And ain't nobody doing that, saying nothing now. We still having to read it for ourselves. Why is these type of essentials not taught in? And that's how you know the particular system that they have built. Is to keep people dumb. Is to dumb you down, to keep you uninformed. On all of these things should have been taught literally in school, but it's not. So, and since it's not, they always say something about ignorance of the law is inexcusable, et cetera. And that's true. But they prepare people in school. Like, how is it that you're willing to put somebody in jail for not taking their children to school, and you're teaching them bullshit? You're teaching them the wrong shit. You lied about history. You lied about a lot of stuff. So that's crazy. Man, the sins that are on the hand of the United States is something, yo. And that's why I say, like, yeah, a lot. It could be different feelings when it comes to Donald Trump and everything that's going on. And I listened to my brother talk about Donald Trump the other day, and all I could say was like, man, when has the United States ever been for you? Like, literally. And if you ask yourself that question, you can't come up with an answer to say when. Right? You can't. Somebody else said they had a testimony. If you was in class, we would love to hear it. But when have it? We can't think like the Tuskegee experiment. We had, what else do we have? It's just something we can just speak recently of what we are aware of. 9/11. I think we all know the truth about that in here, right? Everybody in here?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
You know what I mean?
major BS.
Oh, sure.
I seen where they were talking about the 14th Amendment and everything like that. And the 14th Amendment was literally created to accept the so-called black man, the black citizen. You got to think about that. You wouldn't even include it. The Dred Scott case said that the black man has no law for the white man to respect, to honor, any of that. And what the black man failed to do was to understand that when you were freed, and in order to be free and independent, what was the black man supposed to do, guys?
Make his own nation.
He was supposed to establish his
Wrong
own
government.
state. That's exactly what he was supposed to do. But he failed. He didn't do that, right? So now they made it to where they could accept him and subject him into a inferior status within their government. And then when they found out that they can do that, they said, well, if we're just going to create this federal citizen, we might as well do this to everybody. So now every individual in the United States is placed under the status of the 14th Amendment. Did you know that? And see, that's why I say, like, a lot of people
Yep.
try to make it about race and all of that type of stuff. But the truth is, man, they said the hell with what race. We doing this to everybody. We got, you know what I'm saying? This ain't got nothing to do with the color no more. Like, we looking at, oh, we can do this to everybody? Okay, let's just do it to everybody then.
for usurpation of power.
You know, they did it. And we have to be mindful of that. And I always say this, like we're out here. I see you. I'm gonna get to you. We out here and we're doing and operating in a system that we don't like. Man, people are not picking up and reading stuff. You're just going in. It's like getting something, opening up a box that you got to assemble something together, but you don't read the instructions. And then when you try to put it together, you end up leaving something out, something crooked. It ain't go, wrong screw in the wrong, holes, all that type of stuff end up happening, right? I think we all done been there before, right? It's the same thing of being in a
Yep.
particular government or whatever, and you don't know a thing about it. That's why, like, it's dangerous to travel to other countries, family, and you don't know anything about their law. That's a dangerous thing to do. End up over there and you do something you're not supposed to do, and then you end up in jail. Even though it might be freely done where you're from, but it's not done over there. We got another testimony then. Let's go. See what you got to say. I just seen your hand up. We waiting on you. Let's go. Empress Majestic Earth. You had your hand up.
I apologize. How you doing? How y'all? Hi everybody.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
So you remember when you told me that I was supposed to do that I had a case with One Main Financial, and I forgot to do the counterclaim when the judge had granted me the dismissal or the motion to vacate.
Right.
So and they had took me back to court, right? So I got it dismissed again, and I filed my counterclaim again, and the judge said, "Listen, I'm on a good road." So I feel like it's a win because they dismissed their case twice for the same thing. And the judge said that my motion that I put in to dismiss it, to vacate it, I did a motion to vacate. He said it was amazing. So I feel like that's a win already. And then I did your the credit repair letter, and I got like the three collections that I had on my account removed, and my it was a Discover card that had some late payments. I got them removed as well. So them was all wins for me, and I can't wait to get this extra win with the counterclaim. So thank you a lot. I appreciate it, and I'm here.
Thank you for your diligence. Thank you for reading. Thank you for studying and showing yourself approved. That's what it's about. So, celebrate you. Celebrate
Yes,
you.
I'm
We definitely
so
give
I'm so I
thanks.
felt so good when I walked out that courthouse. I felt I can't even think of the words that I was feeling. It was just amazing. So I really appreciate everything that I've been learning because I have been reading and going really, really deep on just making sure that I understand everything that I'm doing. So I did a great job. That lawyer was so red when I walked out of there. Yeah, because this the second time I didn't beat them. And he just like, where is this lady coming from? So I feel amazing. I feel amazing. Thank you again.
Tell them you coming from work sessions.
That part.
you
That
know,
part.
straight up. And and that's remember, we didn't go to school for this. I keep saying that. Did you go to
No, we didn't.
have you been to law school?
No, I have not.
And
Mm-mm.
that pisses them off the most.
Yeah, even when I beat them the first time, I hadn't even came across you at that point, right? Because that was in 2023. And when I did that first motion and it got dismissed, I did that straight off the just me reading and off the top of my head for real, for real. And I beat them then, which empowered me enough to be like, oh, I can do this again. But I didn't follow up with the counterclaim. But I know what to do now. You put me on the right track and I'm on their tail. Trust me, I'm on it.
Well, congratulations and stay on it. I know you're going to receive what you're supposed to receive from that as well.
I'll be back with the next win, the next testimony.
I like that
My court
confidence.
16th, May 16th. It's in a couple weeks. So I'll let y'all know.
All righty then. We'll be waiting on you. All right. So, like I was saying, we're going back to, because like today, I don't know, nationality been stuck on my mind a minute here. And what does it take to do that? And things a lot of people are not understanding. And I look at our people who scream out and shout all these different things, but I always say justice is only for those who are willing to carry the law. And if you're not willing to pick up the book of the law, study for yourself, and carry the law to assert the law, which is also protecting and asserting your rights, then justice is not to be served to you. Seriously. It does not belong to you in that manner. And the fact that you were able to go and study and keep going and go in and assert everything, then now justice is yours to receive. It's a form of attraction. For real, for real. And they don't care. It's like, y'all got to stop looking at these judges as if they're going to protect you. You got to stop looking at it as a public defender as if they're going to protect you. You got to stop looking at these police officers and the sheriff and all these people. They're not here to protect you. They're not. They're not here to assert your right. They're not going to do it. They work for the state or the city or municipal. That's what they work for. Their job is to assert and protect the right of the state and assert and to protect the right of the municipal. Nothing else. You got to understand that the boundaries was drawn to keep them from asserting. So as long as they can stay within their line and boundaries of that, but that boundary can go as far as it wants to, is if you're ignorant of the law, right? That's the main thing. It can go as far as it wants if you're ignorant of the law. So if you walk into a courtroom and a lot of people get to like stop this one thing, stop going in there saying that I'm this, I'm the agent of this, or I'm the executor of such and such, and do like you don't got to do all of that. Here's the thing, guys. The number one thing is communication. So you go in there and you ask questions. You don't have to say anything about who and what you are or in your relationships to or whatever it may be. Ask them to tell who they are. Make them make their claim on who and what position they may hold. Right? That's why you got your what? Discovery tools. Learn to discover. Now that word discover means to what? What does discover mean?
Like to find or to
Now look up
gather information.
look up the etymology of discover.
Okay.
To bring forth.
Uncover.
Yeah. So it means to reveal, disclose, expose, to lay open to view. It also means to what? Betray someone's secret. Uh, it also comes from uncover, unroof, unveil, reveal, again, betray. It also cover over, overwhelm, or bury in certain ways. So at first, with the sense of betrayal or malicious exposure, discoverer originally meant informant. Think about that. Also, in Middle English, used in literal senses such as to remove. So remove one's hat, one's hat, the roof from a building. The meaning to obtain the first knowledge or sight of what was before not known. So instead of going in there saying, okay, I need to know the nature of this court, etc., we always have to do what? Because remember, you have to move the court to do anything that you want it to do, right? So move the court. If you make a motion to move the court, and a motion can be for whatever specific reason. And here's the thing, they have to answer. They cannot be quiet. And if you put these motions in place and they start setting summary judgments, etc., all of this type of stuff, that brings a violation of due process. Because you have to have a hearing. They have to what? Hear the motion. All right. If they don't allow you to proceed with particular motions, especially one of the main ones is that when you start requesting the original documents of things and you make that motion because that is the evidence for your defense. And if they don't allow you to do that, what does that do?
Violate due process.
Violate due process of law.
Due process. Due process also, you got to realize this too. Due process don't just start in court. Due process starts with any form of interaction that you may have with a public servant. Right? Due process. So be mindful of how you deal with them. A lot of y'all got cases right now, and y'all ask, well, what if it's old or whatever? Listen, all you got to do to open the case is go do what? Motion to vacate. As soon as you make a motion on that particular case based upon whatever reason, they have to do it.
Consider.
They have to. Open it back up. Review the case.
No statute of limitations on fraud.
None. You have to open the case back up. Right? So once the case opens back up for you, and they say yay or nay or whatever the case may be, and now we got the right to do motion to reconsider, etc., based upon whatever finding of new evidence that you may have. And then if it's an old case that you don't want to go back through with that particular, you also can go do what? If you don't want to do it, let's say if it's an old case, you also got the right to go back and do what? How do you seek equity?
Injunction.
There you go. You get to go do an injunction if you want to instead on that particular matter. So, and that is one of the that's a high prerogative writ that you get to also exercise. So learn those tools, man, and be aware because they do exist. They're not gonna do them for you. Don't look for them to do it for you. We're gonna answer some questions though, man. What's up? What's up? What y'all got? What's up, Tracy? What's your question?
Okay, my dilemma, well, it started early Sunday morning. My son was taken to jail in reference to, they said, a domestic violence with malicious activity. Well, my question is, I mean, I know I listened to your unlawful arrest and detainment and arrest, and I know it was a failure, number one, for due process of laws, and I was writing some notes down. But what, I guess he's there in jail now, So they still have not taken him before the judge, the magistrate. He's waiting. Um, I guess we have not. I haven't been through this before, but like when he does see the judge, can he just ask for I guess how to ask for the failure of due process of law
What you mean? It's all
or
in
violation? Had
it's
a violation of due process of law,
it's a
and they would
motion.
not hear the
Yeah.
okay, and they wouldn't when the police was out, they wouldn't allow him. They wouldn't even take his report on what was going on because he wasn't the one. He left the situation, but he came back, to get his clothes because the lady had threw his clothes out. And when he came back, I think that's when the police were there.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and this is to all you fellas out there. Whoever makes the call first, the other one's going to jail.
Okay.
In the words of Mike Epps, that's a real thing. I've watched it happen firsthand. And you gotta, if they come out there for that, the only thing they're looking for is somebody to say something happened. And this is what I'm saying. Like, they're not there to ask questions. As soon as someone say they were harmed, that means they have a what? I want you to think about it. What do they have?
Injured party.
They got an injured party, and they also have a what?
A duty.
They got a witness.
A claim.
A witness.
Okay, have a witness.
Yes. And now when that witness give a statement, now they have a what?
Claim.
They got an affidavit. The affidavit is considered what?
Evidence.
Evidence. See how that works?
Yeah.
They don't care to hear the other side. So now the duty is on your side to do and perform and assert your rights, because they're definitely going to violate them. So if they make an arrest based upon this form of probable cause, and the probable cause itself is they have to have without a reasonable doubt, okay, to make the arrest. And when they made the arrest, the first place they're supposed to take you is to where?
Is the magistrate.
Magistrate.
The magistrate. Okay, so if they take you and book you, place you in jail, fingerprint you, do everything like that, and how long it's been since this happened?
Sunday.
Sunday.
About 2:00 in the morning.
Okay, so
it's
and what
been
day does he
more than
have court?
24 hours. We don't know. He's in jail.
Okay, so they can, like, here's the thing. They can hold you for questioning for so long, but and even then they still can, that's a form of detainment as well. But my point is in this is like if they're going to consider in making a full arrest to place you into custody, into jail, etc., then they have to take you to the magistrate to make sure that they have enough evidence being formed to place you in there.
Right.
If that does not
And that's
happen,
what I
that's a violation of due process of law.
Right. And that's what I was listening to on your unlawful detainment, and so going through that, listening to that I know, knowing that was a failure or a violation of due process of law because they did not do that because he's still there. They didn't do any of that, and they didn't have a warrant for his arrest as well.
Right.
And I know, you were saying that at the time that they decide to put you under arrest or to arrest you, they have to have the warrant on their person or, within hands, arm's reach or however.
Yeah, if they're going to claim a
at-
warrant, they got to have it on you. And if not, then you have to go immediately take you to the magistrate. And that's where they issue the warrant there because they have right to arrest you and
Right.
place you into their custody. But when they don't do that, it violates due process. Now, again, the people in America is so ignorant of this, so they just get taken to jail. They already taken your you know, your fingerprints
So,
and everything that
okay.
it takes into that, right? So that takes
Right.
away a lot of you know, they look at it like it's part of their process, but it's not. So
Mhm. Okay. So just when he goes to court. But is there now I know I got the defend and conquer, and I know I got the mastering lawsuits. Should I, and I started looking at those, but are those where I can maybe start, or is there another
yeah,
one that
if
maybe
you
I
master
can?
that, you're great. Just stick with those. You don't need nothing else. You just need to go and learn the discovery tools, motions, know how to ask the right questions, and the first thing that you do is you motion to dismiss based upon some form of lack of standing. Could be lack of due process of law, and you can say exactly what happened and where they messed up at, and then if they don't choose to do it, if they don't, if they say no to your motion, then the next thing you should do is your motion of discovery. So now you want them to the produce the records and everything. You want them to make production, but you got to make sure that you ask for the right production because you want them to show proof where they took you to the magistrate first in order for you to be placed into jail because that's part of due process. So that needs to be done in full. Now,
Okay.
somebody just asked this, and somebody just said, well, what if the injured party is lying? See, here's the thing. That's your duty to prove in court. That's why you use your discovery tools. Make them come out and prove every single thing. And if they don't have the evidence to prove these things, then it's in your favor. But due process is
And
very
see that.
serious. So you need to make sure that you run through due process and what that actually looks like. So now you also need the what? What do you want?
What do I want?
Yeah, tell me what you want.
I want you talk about the motion for to dismiss
Yeah, but what's going like? Okay, let's say they deny that. So what's going to prove what you're saying?
after the motion of discovery and the production.
Yeah, what you gonna say in the production? What do you want? What's going to prove they
What
didn't take him to the
like maybe the
magistrate?
body cam, the
There you go.
report,
You want the body
the
cam. That's all you need is the body cam. That's it.
okay.
Because the body cam is going to show that they didn't never take him to the magistrate. They took him straight to jail.
Okay. Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. But one mistake I made is even though the police officers they were there and they saw what she did to his clothes, I wasn't thinking. I just didn't want the clothes in my car dirty, and I washed. I some of them I had, most of them I had to just throw away.
Did you record it? You should have just took pictures of everything.
No, I
That's your
I
evidence.
wasn't, and I
Yeah.
just that evidence is gone now.
Show evidence and damage to property. Now, had
But
this
it's gone because they can't. I mean, other than the two police officers that were there, he showed them the clothes, but I mean, they could say that they didn't see them.
yeah,
And
but that's my
I
point.
not.
Like my point is this: did he live there and had he been paying rent or et cetera there? Right?
Yes.
He got equity into that place. So,
Yes.
is his name on the place as well?
Yes.
Well, she can't put him out. That's vandalism to his
She
property.
did.
She listen to what I'm saying. She didn't. She didn't do nothing. He didn't assert his right. He can go right back over there right now today. When he get out, nothing can stop it. My point is, see, and that's like all of that's a violation. Nothing.
Mm.
She didn't go to court. She didn't go to court to do anything. And they sit there and watch, all this man's clothes and stuff get thrown out. That's a form of vandalism. Damages to property. That's another thing. But you get the body cam, and then if the body cam showing that she's throwing the stuff out or the stuff is out, and you see the clothes on the body cam, then that's another way to prove it.
Okay. Whew, okay.
I mean,
Thank
it's just you got to really sit down and think about it, and then be
you.
strategic. Come up with your strategy and what the way you want to approach the situation. But again, that is what will definitely help.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I'll make sure I've watched those videos again and I'll go through that.
All right. What's up, Isaiah?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you pretty good.
So, I like when you used the discovery, that was really powerful, at least with me. Question about child support, right? I have an old bill this is for a friend. I have an old bill where they offsetted his refund. How should I attack that? Because they locked him up on child support and they're trying to move it to federal.
What do you mean they offset his refund?
So there's a what is it called? Can I get to it? Hold on 1 second. So basically, it's a state tax refund pre-offset notice.
Oh, you saying they took it?
offset
They took his money from like taxes.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
But they still locked him up.
Yeah. So here's the thing,
Did I endorse the receipt
and they locked him
of the
up.
instrument?
Nah, you don't need to endorse nothing. You just need to literally use your tools. And why is
Gotcha,
it
okay.
why is it going federal?
Because of the amount or something, I think.
Oh, it's over 10,000. What is it? It's over 75,000.
30, I think.
Huh?
This bill only says like a little over 10, but
Okay. Well, at the end of the day, just make sure that you assert the rights, and that especially if they took his money, and if they're going to take his money, they have to go to court to garnish and take that money. It can't just be something like, you got to remember, y'all, everything that's a form of violation of due process of law. You can't just take
exactly.
somebody's
Yep,
money
okay.
and property without going to trial. Make sure you mute out for me, Miss White. But you can't do that. Now they can do it if you allow them to do it and don't do anything about it. Let me just put it that way. Because obviously
Exactly.
they did it, but now it's his duty to assert the right and go and make sure. So what court is it in now?
So right now it's still in the state court.
So you need to do.
I haven't heard anything else, but
Have they made a judgment on anything?
not that I know of.
All right.
I got so much other stuff going on, but the
Well,
attacks are
you
real
can
out here.
really blow that whole case up based upon the Title 4D, the contract in between. You can go all the way back to the very beginning to which judge issued the actual child support, and the fact that they did that. The court itself, clerk, prosecutor, anybody else involved, all went into a private contract. They all had interest within this particular case as well. And even when they locked him up for child support, they also was getting paid for that. Okay.
Right.
So you
it's
have
up
to
to
use,
him though to express it.
yeah, you have to use that too as well.
All right. Thanks for getting me level headed, because like I said, baby girl will be here any day. Hopefully tonight.
Yeah, man,
But,
man, I'm so glad I ain't. I'm done going with that weight, boy. That's a rough thing there, boy, on that weight. But yeah, man, I'm going to say
Yes.
congratulations to you though, for sure. If I don't get to see you by the end, so, but
I appreciate it.
for sure, man. And,
Blessings, bro.
oh yeah, same to you. But I think you know what I'm saying though. You know exactly what to do, right?
Yeah, I know what to do. I just, like I said, everything going on. I'm trying to get level headed. I got this coming in the mail, that going out,
Right. No, I understand too. I got you.
Appreciate that though, for real.
All love. All right. We got another question in here. So y'all want me to ask y'all questions, huh? Want me to ask y'all some questions in here, but like, just even let's just dive a little further on what you was just speaking on, brother Isaiah. Like, they took the man money and then still put him in jail. Um, that's like that was a form of payment that they took. How much money was they saying that he had to pay as well? Because
So I think his grandmother ended up paying $300 at one court, and they held him overnight and took him to the like a county over.
so he had child support in
And then they want
two different places.
yeah, they want 5,000 to get him out today.
Okay, so that goes also back to they have to show that he was saying that he wasn't going to pay, or that him saying that he didn't have the ability to pay.
His intent.
Yeah, with
His
the intent.
because he's got health issues, all that. I've tried telling him this, like you have to express this. So I'm gonna try to get him on the line, but I do know what to do now and move forward.
Yeah, they got to prove intent. That's all to all you fellas, ladies out there. Do not let them put you in jail based upon them saying that they're trying to say hold you in contempt of court of you saying that you're not going to pay instead of saying that I don't have the ability to pay. So they have to show willful intent that, you said that you wasn't going to pay. So I always put that on the record. Okay, I motion for, the production of evidence to show that where, willful intent of not to pay based upon my ability
Exactly.
not being able to pay. And also include the law where it says in that particular state about no imprisonment for debt.
Okay. That's just adding fuel, baby. Oh yeah, I got this.
And then
I'll
once
keep you
you
updated by email.
and then once you do that, like now they're in trouble. Like, and we ain't even dove into the Title 4D and all of that type of stuff fully, but I'm just saying, just with that alone, they're in trouble. That's a violation of form of due process of law as well. And it's violating the Constitution because now they place you into jail based upon, imprisonment for a form of debt because they never did prove willful intent that you said you're not going to pay. So show me where I said that I wasn't going to pay. Show me the willful intent where I became in contempt of the court. Where is it at? You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So what
Absolutely.
they try to do is they're like, well, can you pay this today? And then that's when you have to rebuttal it right there. And I think that's where they got him because he's kind of like hot-headed, especially going in front of them. They're like, can you pay 200 or whatever? No, I can't. And then that's where you slip up right there. You have to be on your toes. I think that's where he messed up.
Right. Yep. He should have said he don't have the ability to pay anything right now, and that he's a pauper right now. He don't own anything. He don't have any money. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just that simple.
Yeah.
And then just tell them to prove willful intent, because they still didn't prove willful intent. So keep that in mind as well.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no problem. That's the same thing with gun charges, non-violent gun charges. Man, they got to prove willful intent that you were going to go and cause some form of harm, and that they stopped you from committing a form of felony or et cetera because you were on your way to it, which places into a form of conspiracy, et cetera. But they got to prove willful intent. You have the right to defend yourself, so tell them where you were going to make war. Tell them to prove willful intent to go make war or to cause harm to someone. They got to have evidence of that. They can't just stop you, pull you over, and say, oh, okay, you got a gun, slap the handcuffs on you, you're disobeying this law, such and such, such and such. No, I have the right to bear arms. I'm just bearing arms. So, and I have the right to protect myself in that. That's part of it. So they can't take that away from you unless you what? Allow them to do it. Shouldn't allow them to do stuff like that at all. Like these these people, man, I don't know, man. I don't even consider them people like it's just something like it's like a psychotic thing that happens with them when they put on their badge. They're no longer a part of you, if that makes sense. Like they're not in the human world with you anymore. They're something else. And you can tell it's like they put that badge on and they get you can see it in their eyes, their demeanor, the way they talk to you, the way they try to handle you. And that's why I always tell people like control your emotions, so be just as calm and peaceful as you possibly can. Don't let them take a life because once they shoot you, it's really nothing that can be done. And we just now start, this whole body cam and cameras and all of this type of stuff. But think about all the stuff that has happened to people just because they said so. They said this happened. Um, Situation that happened in Cincinnati where they killed an 18-year-old boy. I think he was like stole a car or something like that. But then his dad turned around and ran over a deputy officer. I don't know if he was retired or what, but he ran over and killed him. And it's the whole demeanor. Like, why is it that the whole entire show me in the law where the whole entire police force gets to stand behind the actual, the defendant to make a intimidation in court? Where the heck does that happen at?
That part.
They
That
did that
part.
with the Mangini too from New York.
And
But
then,
they would never let somebody's family do that.
yeah, your family can't come in there and do nothing like that. They let them do it and then turn around and hand you right back over to the same people that probably doing all kind of stuff to this dude, and they're gonna just wave it like nothing ever happened. You know, like even if he did, I ain't gonna say if he did, whatever the case may be, we'll let the case decide or the court decide on that. But my point is, like, he still has rights. It can't be biased in no shape, form, or fashion, right? Um, and municipals are biased because if they pull you over, give you a ticket, you go to court, the same court is the one, and the city is, etc., is the judge and the prosecutor. And they prosecute you, and then the city benefits from it. That money goes into the city revenue, and then the city ends up paying the individuals, such as the officer, the judge, and prosecutor. That's not impartial judicial, right?
Yep.
It's a violation of due process of law. If you don't pay attention to that, what does that mean? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the reason why they get away with so much. And then you got these little towns that focus specifically on getting a quota, a certain amount of tickets. And that's how they build their revenue. And if they build their revenue that way, and it's attached to their pockets, just like that one movie where the guy was riding a bike, he was going to go bond his cousin out before he went to a certain jail, and then he knew that was probably going to kill him. And they were making certain bonds because their town wasn't making them that much money. And if they did these particular bonds, that it brought money to them to be able to, fund their departments and make sure they salaries get paid or go up more or whatever the case may be. If all of that is lined in that certain way, that's not impartial judicial, right? And it's showing you guys, like, if you watch that, you know that was wrong. But it happens. And it all happens based upon the ignorance. Most people become wealthy because of the ignorance of the people. It's just one of those things, you know. And people are so ignorant that will say, "Oh, just comply," or just do what the officer says. There, man. You really think because someone put like people are evil, yo. And just because they place a badge or put a robe on or anything like that, it doesn't make them a good person. Doesn't make them an honest individual. It doesn't do any of that. But I think a lot of people think because they do that oh, they're honest. They're going to everything they said was right. They did it right. But no, man, listen. Most of them are a piece of shit for real. Family members don't halfway like them. They take bribes. They doing certain things to look over, all because of wealth, all because of greed, all because of money, things like that. It happens all the time. And I still remember the individual, like when I got pulled over, and the night that they took my truck, which we got it back and won, but the night they did that, I just remember that they waited to someone that looks like me. They sent him to come and talk to us. I was like, what the fuck that's gonna do? Like, we're just going to be willing to. I really, it was like it was like, it was a psychological thing to where they wanted us to feel some type of comfortability or something. But the whole entire time, he was just as worse. It was like, well, I see what you got going on here, and I've seen this many times in Florida, and never works out like you guys think it's gonna work out. And I just laughed. I said, well, you ain't never met me before. And it's nothing for us to talk about. I'm not here to talk to you guys. I'm not here to argue with you guys. You're going to do what you're going to do. Do it. Do whatever it is that you feel like. And if I got to just deal with traffic stuff, I ain't got to worry about that. That's small time. That's small stuff, guys, compared to what I've seen people have to deal with when it comes to, you know, dealing with drugs and all kind of different stuff, man. And you facing time. You facing 20, 30 years. Only thing we facing is a ticket. A few $100s at that. So that's why, I keep my nose clean. I stay in the right lane and just say, if this is, the most I would have to deal with is some form of company trying to beat me out of some money based upon their unjustice acts of how they move with mortgages and all of that type of stuff, and a police officer who want to give me a ticket because he thinks that what he know is above the law. Y'all know that? That's where we at now. And that's a beautiful thing coming from where I'm coming from. That's the least we got to deal with. That's cool with me. Fine with me. And another thing is, how many of you in here are in a nation of your own? You and your people maybe started a nation or whatever. How many we got in here?
Me,
Mike Mayberry. What's your nation's name?
Ambassadors of Christ, National Republic of Peace.
Okay. Anybody else?
508.
Anybody else operating on a sovereign, independent? Speak. Don't be afraid. I'm going to tell y'all something. And this is the reason why we supposed to be able to move the way we supposed to move. Like, even when it comes to MNRP, I could just use us for an example. Once you get in a nation, like, you got to understand that anything that happens outside of you, you do not go, like, you're considered children, and that's why y'all come up, oh well, they're wards of the state. Well, that just literally means that you're supposed to have it goes on the parent's portrait, which means that the state is the parent. The nationals, the citizens, etc., are the what? Children. Anything that happens outside of it, the state is supposed to be protecting the rights of this people. So, like for us in MNRP, we have to step in as the parents portray on behalf of the people, the children, which is our citizens and nationals. So, an individual, and that's why I see and they notice you too. I promise you, they can see you. They can know that a lot of people claim foreign sovereign immunities, and if you claim that, the only thing that can claim that is a sovereign state, not an individual. Did y'all know that?
Yes, sir.
It has to be a
I
sovereign
didn't, but I
state.
know that now.
Has to be a
We
sovereign
live in the
state.
kingdom.
So
Live in
now
the
that
kingdom.
means an individual has to come and protect. That means your state has to be able to come and protect you based upon these particular rights. So we always say, oh, the people has rights. Okay, yes, but the people sold all of their rights into one body, which is why they call it a body of politic, right? You understand what I'm saying? That's why it's called a body of politic. So if they sold all of their rights into a body of politic, anything outside of you, like you can't even really speak, because speaking to you is like speaking to a leg. See what I'm saying? Or speaking to a finger. What can the finger say or do without the body? And then that brings you up to the consciousness of it, which deals with the what? Where the officers who sit in these public service seats for this particular body of politic, that's where the consciousness relies. So now you got to realize the consciousness of the people has been placed into this particular body of politic. That's the reason now it becomes a moral person by having a what? Constitution. A constitution and laws gives it its morality. Y'all paying attention?
Yes, sir.
It's real. It's so deep. So now, when you look at the right to travel, when you look at the right to own property, etc., all of that belongs to a body of politic. The people, the nations. And if you go and read the Bible, God spoke to who? Who did God speak to?
Nations.
Nations. Spoke to nations. Nations were given land. Nations was occupying. And they served. It's a real big thing. So when people talk about, oh, I claim my nationality on the record, listen, you can't go to the opposite. You can't go to the United States and declare the nationality of Nigeria. Like that you're a Nigerian or that you are a whatever. Do you know why? Anybody?
Is they a corporation?
No. It ain't even that. It's because it takes like the nation
Or
itself has to recognize you.
Right. Be conveyed to it.
So it's
They have to be foreign.
well, y'all, you looking at it from the like, okay, you can come and tell me, oh, I'm from the we're gonna say maybe I'm from the Mayberry family. Okay, cool. I'm declaring that I'm from the Mayberry family. Now, in order for me to make sure that you are, I have to go to who? I have to go to the Mayberry family. That's going to declare that you're one of them, right?
The king and have that seal.
That's the difference. So when people go and say, "Hey, I'm this or I'm that," you see what I'm saying? Then, okay, well, where is the people I can go to who's going to say you are one of them? That's why Jesus said, "Many are going to call my name, but I what? I know you not."
Chose you.
He said, I know you not. You didn't become a part of the kingdom. If you become one of us, I can declare that you're one of us. So that means you have to go back. You got to go to your nation and declare who and what you are. That nation accepts who and what you are, gives you a certificate of nationality, et cetera, and all of these different things, right? That has to exist. And I think a lot of people misunderstands that in many different ways. A nation, I mean, and there's nobody who can stop you from forming, your state, a nation. It could be by blood. It could be by some form of common defense, etc. Things of that nature. Whatever brought you together to be who and what you are. Nobody can stop that but you. Sovereignty. Sovereignty belongs only to the people. And notice I said people. People in a what? Form of compact. In a form of body and politic. That's who it belongs to. Okay? Those who, so when in the Dred Scott case, when it says that the black man does not have a law for the white man to respect, what did they mean?
No nation.
They had no nation. You don't got a body of politic. You don't have no what? Morality. No more morale. You don't have none of that.
Social impact. Compact.
So until you have that, and then you go back and read and see what God said. God said in Romans 13 that every soul shall be governed. So it's either you govern yourselves or what? Someone else going to govern you. Now, when you say yourself, yes, and by your own conscious mind, you do govern yourself for sure. But when it comes to a nation, a group of people, that forms under a body of politic, right? The political authority. This is what people got to start locking in on. It don't even really take much to do this, but it's not something to play with though. A lot of people think that as soon as you claim it, you this, or you got to go, oh, well, do they recognize you? No, it's not about it's only about you recognizing you. Do you recognize who you are? No one can ever, first of all, sovereignty is asserted in exercise. It's not like a form of legal document that says, oh, okay, well, you are who you're by, like this document made you sovereign. No. It's all by actions. It's something you wake up and you do every single day. It's not something you turn off and on. If you join a nation and y'all have a sovereign body of politic and you guys have your your IDs, etc., passports, all of this type of stuff. Yeah, it's your duty to assert those things because now what happens? What happens if they say, "Oh, well, you're not. We don't agree that you're this. You're a U.S. citizen. Or you're such and such." What does that violate in their constitution? Think about it.
Liberty of consciousness.
That's one, but it is a liberty. But what does it violate in their constitution?
Religion.
What did they
Religion.
what did they abolish in the 1800s?
Slavery.
Slavery. So if they abolish slavery, no, there's no such thing like that you can't do involuntary servitude. So if you tell and declare that you're a part of a specific body of politic and you and these people have declared and to start a nation in peace, you're not causing any form of harm, you're not taking any form of liberty from anyone else, and they decide to subject you to make you as one of them, their own citizens, etc. That is a form of what?
Slavery. 13th Amendment.
Thank you. That violates the 13th Amendment. See how that works? I just want y'all to think for a second, though. Because for a lot of people, like, and I know we look at, oh well, why is the someone who's considered to have a status of white, why? And then y'all have to realize white does not have anything to do with color. It don't. White has everything to do with people who are from the origins of North Africa, Europe, certain other places I can't think right off the top of my head, but yeah, they're white. Even people who can like you got what you call I don't want to say Hispanic. That's a derogatory word for real. Mexicans, whatever, they white. They declare white. A lot of them do. They do not say Hispanic because they know better. See, y'all got to understand the game here. So once you understand that part, you're like, oh, okay, so this is about, and status only has to do with two things: your political status and your status to your property. That's it. Correcting your status is not something. If you want to correct your status, then you need to go declare your nationality in the nation or state that you belong to. Simple. Or you need to declare your rights or interests to some form of property. All that other stuff everybody telling you is bullshit. Anybody want to bet on it?
What's the bet? One more time, my bad.
I'm just saying, like, when they say status correction, status is only about your political status that you may hold within a country, nation, state, etc., or it's about your rights and interests and your status to your property. That's it. Nothing else. Everything else is bullshit. Simple. So you gotta learn to go back and start understanding this. So this is what I be trying to tell y'all. Like, hey, just because you created a trust, just because you went and did, all this other stuff, like it don't change for you, especially the black man. You have to establish law. You have to. And I'm saying that just for, is, for a lot of other people as well. But and even if you're considered to be Caucasian, et cetera, I can show you plenty of other groups right now that whether they're, they got other groups out here as well that have declared certain forms of new governments here. Nobody, there's not one single individual that could own the soil. Y'all think the United States owns the soil?
No.
It's not possible. But what they do is control what? What do they control?
The state?
Territory.
Land, air, and water.
No, they just control territory. God controls land, air, and water.
Is it that eminent domain or along those lines?
If you say eminent domain, what does eminent domain go back to, though?
Right. They own it.
No, what does it go to, though? What does it deal with?
Them having some type of deed or claim to the land.
God.
Or
It ain't even claimed to the
it's
land.
it's abandoned. So if it's abandoned, then they take claim to it.
It's all trust related. It's all trust related, family. It's just trust. They're only in control of that which is in their trust. Everybody keeps going down there, placing their belongings into the public trust, which now gives them forms of occupation. So they occupy. No different than you occupy the space that you're in right now. Do everybody understand that? Yay? Nay?
Yep.
Yes.
It's just occupying space, occupying territory. You're in use of this particular territory. In that territory, this is what you're doing. All of this stuff is a form of illusion that they have trapped you in, that it only exists on a minor level. When you start speaking in international law, now you start speaking on what? To reach international law, we automatically start dealing with what?
Commerce.
Mm-mm. Well, yeah, you get it. You get into commerce and trade, but something greater than that.
God's law or law's law.
The law of
Treaty.
nature.
Mm-hmm.
It's the law of nature.
We have dominion.
You got to understand, it is the law of nature. The law of nature itself. All land is one. All land is connected. It's one. That's it. All bodies of water are connected in some shape, form, or fashion. It's one. You know what I'm saying? Oceans, seas, lakes, to rivers, to streams, etc. It's all tied into one. Because no matter what, well, all of that water eventually at some point vaporizes, correct? It rains. It does it all, right? Come on. Y'all with me?
Correct. Correct.
With you.
I'm just trying to get y'all to see something greater than what you think that is so hard, but it's really simple. Like, remove all the bullshit and just realize that we're all on this land together, on this earth, on this plane together. Okay? What gives a bird a right to the airspace more than you? What
Because he applied himself.
what
Free
gives
will.
what gives any form of animal? Okay, like right now, an animal can go hunt another animal down and boom. Nothing's going to be said, nothing's going to happen. It's its own right in nature to feed itself. Like lions are predators. They hunt, they eat, but they guess what? They don't never kill more than what they need. And it's a circle of life. But the reason why I'm saying this is you have to look at it from this particular perspective. You see what I'm saying? So if you look at it from this perspective, now you got to look at it like, okay, who am I as an individual and who am I as a people to where I come from? And who are we? How are we established here on this earth? You have to ask yourself that. You have to look at it from that point. Because now, once your mind, and that's why they always deal with the consciousness of man, because the body has to follow. So once your mind is wrapped into the illusion of things that the way they have set them to, because to keep you on a lower playing field, now you are subjected to all these different laws, etc. You see what I'm saying? You're fully subjected now until you learn to rise up and come out. And the only way that's going to happen is if you go back and reach to your divine self. Tyranny is a real thing. We know that it exists on all levels. We get on YouTube, we get on TikTok, all we see is tyranny the whole entire time. Constant, every single solitary day. It's always happening. It's really no even it's not even a war like it's not a war on terrorism, it's not a war on any of that. It's all a war on freedom and independence. It's a constant state of war on that. Always have been, always will be. And as long as they can keep you tied down to this lowest form of which you are in, then you guys think that, starting a trust is going to give you the freedom that you're looking for. And you guys are going to think that if I learn how to do credit, it's going to give you the freedom that you're looking for. It's not. Seriously, it's not. Now, it's great to know these things because we are dealing with this system, because it is the most economical, powerful system on this in America that we have to deal with, for sure. So we have to play it by the game that it is, because if you go to the store, that particular store is a citizen of the United States. But citizens of the United States are considered federal citizens. Federal citizens were created by Congress of the United States, not by the Republic States of the United States of America. Do y'all understand that?
Yes, sir. 14th
Yes, sir.
Amendment.
Yes.
14th Amendment citizens.
So if you start understanding that part, then it changes your perspective again on what's supposed to be happening here, what you're supposed to be doing. It don't change. And they already got you afraid of it. You can't be afraid to do what it is that we have to do what is necessary, so that our posterity can continue to grow and live and be in freedom. But here's the thing. Freedom and independence, it's not an easy task. And I think people know that, which is why they don't pursue it. A lot of people are afraid of it. So somebody said, wasn't the federal created by the states and the states by the people? But when you say people, who are those people? Because the same people you talking about that created them comes from the 13 colonies. So that's why I say when you think about the 13 colonies that existed, and when we talk about colonies, now we're talking about British. So the people of Great Britain, which is why it used to be called United States of British America. So when you think of it in that perspective, well, when you say people, when it comes to somebody like me, my people wasn't involved in that. which is the reason why they had to create the 14th Amendment. See what I'm saying? So now the question is, are we really a part of it? Is it really for us? Are we the people that created it or not? And the honest truth is, we're not. They couldn't create it. They give it to you and they let you be a part of it, but you're only going to get to do so much. They're only going to take you so far. That's the situation. So, yes, we say the people, but who are those people? George Washington is not my ancestor. Thomas Jefferson is not mine. Andrew Jackson is not my ancestor. Ben Franklin is not my ancestor. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? My ancestor.
Yes, sir.
That's one person. Do y'all understand what I am telling you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
This is serious. This is something everybody got to really face and realize. Because right now, the whole entire United States of America is in a panic mode. One, you don't know the true history. You don't know what happened. You don't even care to know what happened. And then when you do find out what happened, you don't even care to fix it. You don't care to do something about it. So obviously you must agree and consent to everything that's going on, right? Can a lion go and be in the nation of bears? Matter of fact, no. Can any other animal? Y'all ever watch how them hippos be? And you see how them hippos be all together? What happens when a crocodile goes into the midst of the hippos?
They tear him up.
Man, do you hear me? The situation. That's something to think about. So now, if the United States started and the way it started, and then all of a sudden you see Barack Obama, which is a lot to say about him, but we're just gonna just say just on how he looks. He told you, he said he is a what? Where is he from?
Kenya.
He's a Kenyan American. So he's from Kenya. Now you got to ask yourself, why the hell would some people who come from British America, Great Britain, want somebody from Kenya to be their president? Anybody? Think about it, man. It ain't even like where you got to consider it as is racist or nothing like that. It's just common freaking sense. Like, okay, do anybody on here want somebody? Let's say you let's see. I don't even think we got any people in here that's Asian. No, we don't. Right now. But I'm just saying in general. We use the terms white, black. So would a white or so-called black person want an Asian man to come in their house and run it and be called the head of the household?
No.
Be honest with yourself. Y'all scared to say something?
No.
That's just two people. Rest of y'all lying to yourself.
Not at all.
Like, think about that. Once you put that into perspective, Once you put it into perspective, now you have to see. Why were they so inferior of like, man, my ancestors built this freaking country and we're allowing someone that looks like this to be the president? You out your freaking mind? And here we are thinking that he's like us, so-called black people. We finally got us one in the office, right? And people will
Yeah, I
protect
remember
and
that during his pregnancy.
people will protect and defend him at all costs. It's certain houses that you can't walk in because they're gonna protect and defend Barack Obama like they do Jesus.
You ain't lying.
I'm so serious. You can tell them that, oh, well, Barack dropped a bomb damn near every day on his term. Somewhere on somebody. Right? And then they'll say, well, you know, they're Christian faith, etc. And then you say, well, you know, Barack and his family, well, they're in their administration. They are the ones who implemented what? What I'm about to say.
The transgender stuff.
Oh, they implemented the transgender stuff.
Yep.
Oh, he ain't got nothing to do with that. Yes, he got all of it to do with that. Now that doesn't matter. It's not nothing to think about. Only thing matter is that he's black, so to say. Never heard this man call himself black a day in your life. Never heard him call himself black. Can anybody show me anywhere where he said he's black on paper or even in some form of speech? Anybody can show that? I got 100 on it.
Crickets.
What I'm saying is, it's you know they playing on emotions. You're not paying attention to see exactly what's happening. I'm not gonna say whether Michelle's a woman, a man, or whatever. I don't care, but I want to know, how is it a woman can write a book about being a transgender? How and why? What the freak was your whole purpose? That doesn't make sense. I don't know a real woman in my eyesight that's gonna go write a book about being a transgender. I know a woman gonna write write a book about a woman's worth or a woman's intuition or a woman's something, struggle or anything of that nature. But it damn sure ain't gonna be about a woman who carries a child and gives birth, who's going to take the time to implement something about being a transgender. Here's another thing. Why is it okay for them to say, why was it a big deal for them to this identity crisis based upon gender? And that when you start a certain rights based upon identity crisis when it comes to your nationality, your blood, why is it a problem?
It's a double standard.
What kind of remedy for defamation? Lawsuit. Somebody said, unless that woman is really a man. Well, they were never a woman then. But that's my whole entire thing. And again, I didn't say whether Michelle is considered, whom they call Michael sometimes, as a man or woman. I don't care. But I ain't stupid either. And I'm saying that because for whatever agenda, for whatever reason, what did that have to do with a woman and representing a woman? Nothing. Not a damn thing. You had the greatest opportunity to be amongst so-called black women and empower black women, and not just black women, but women in general, because women has been the least. And see, when they got upset about DEI, but y'all gotta understand the white woman, she was like the bottom of the damn shoe. Walked on daily. Shitted on daily. In her own home. Y'all think I'm lying? Did she have rights?
Zero.
She was the next thing to a slave. Just married to the white man. Couldn't own property. Couldn't go and represent anything in court. They had to speak to through the husband to speak to about the wife. She had no rights, none whatsoever. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So now, when you talk about DEI, and then now you consider the white woman as a what? Come on, say it.
An equal?
A what?
An equal?
She's a minority. Ha ha. See what I'm saying?
Wow.
She's a minority. Think about that. Minority. So DEI mainly went to who? Who did it go to? Statistic. You can go look it up right now. DEI mainly went to
LGBT community.
it went to the white woman.
White women.
Yeah. That's who it was for. It went to her. Did we somewhat simply kind of benefit from it here and there? Of course. Yeah, you did. But at the same time, like, if y'all can't get the message from the universe is saying, hey, you're supposed to be in your own nation. You would be upset in acceptance of you, yourself. You're not supposed to be going somewhere trying to be accepted by somebody else. It's this one video. I'm going to see if I can find it tonight. But it was where this officer and this black crowd was marching, and they was wanting to go to the courthouse. And then the white police officer, he was saying, hey, you can't come to my courthouse. Go to your own. Go get your own shit. And they was offended. Too damn sensitive. And we so stuck on, oh, I ain't going nowhere I don't belong. I don't want to be nowhere where I'm not accepted. But here y'all is complaining about fucking DEI. Emotional creatures. Unstabilized. And all that has to say is that you don't what? Somebody finish it for me. You don't what?
Value yourself.
You don't what?
Value yourself.
I wasn't looking for value, but I'll take value. Anybody else got another word I'm looking for?
Don't read.
Read, cool, but what else?
What's
You
the
don't love
question
yourself?
again?
You don't love yourself. You have no love for yourself to the point to where you have to seek validation from somebody else to say you somebody. I call that a sickness, a mentally ill sickness, right? It's even sick to the fact that you will laugh at our, we'll say the brown community, the Mexican community, and you'll laugh because they the way they establish themselves, the way they come here and have their children, and their children automatically become U.S. citizens because they're born on the soil, et cetera, all of that type of stuff. You see what I'm saying? And it's crazy. They establish grocery stores. They establish their own construction companies. They establish their own restaurants. They establish their, come on, you name it. They're doing it. And all we can do is, look at them. It's 20 of them in the van. It's 20 of them in one house. At least they can get the fuck along. To do and to put it, whatever it is they have aside to make sure that they are doing things for the greater value of themselves. And guess what? They can do all of that without even hating you. Still invite you and do trade with you and still let you come into their families and all of their different type of shit, right?
Yep.
So is separation a bad thing? No. It's only bad when you choose to separate and then use it to what's the word I'm looking for?
Use it in hateful,
Yeah.
hateful way.
Use it into
Your
a form of
flesh.
hateful way.
Your flesh.
You see what I'm saying? No matter how you look at it, a dog's a dog and a cat's a cat. Even certain cats is not finna go hang with a freaking lion. It won't live long at all, right?
Right.
Right.
Instinct.
The only
kicks in.
it's and this is what I'm saying. This is the way God built the nature of things, right? Yes, there are crows. Crows are crows, but is a crow and a parakeet gonna be together?
No.
But we call them together as what? Birds. Yes, we're people, we're humans, etc. But at the same time, there's a difference of a lot of shit. Regardless, it doesn't change. People look at separation as a form of hate, and it's not. It's required. It doesn't mean that you have to hate. It just means that you have to be what? Self-sufficient, self-preserved. It is what it is. I watched another video the other day. The dude was praising Trump, and I love Trump. I love what he's doing because everything he's implementing is making sure that my people don't become the full minorities here. Why did he say that? And then someone will call him racist because he wants to see his people on top, succeed, or at least be valued in a way. And the only thing they're going to do is value one another. You can't get mad at that. Nobody. Y'all lost. I was watching The Way of the Dragon, right? Any Bruce Lee fans on here?
Yep.
I like
Yeah.
Bruce Lee.
Why did Bruce Lee go to his family member? Why did he go over there to help? What did he go help do? His uncle sent him to do what? From China. What he sent? He sent him from when he went from China, and he sent them. What was they at? What country was they in? Where did they shoot that movie at? I had to go back and look again, but I want to say it was in America, but then again, I don't know. Can't remember right off the bat. But my point is he sent Bruce Lee over there to go and help with the restaurant.
Yeah, stop them Shaolin warriors.
Yeah, but he did. He went over there to do that, but the whole point was to go help his people. That's why he went to go help run the restaurant, to protect the assets. And you can't be mad for them doing and looking out for themselves. I mean, shit, that's no difference than the same way you do with your own children in your own household? Why are we so offended because others are doing it? Can anybody answer that for me?
It's a form of
Because they're not
indoctrination.
doing it themselves.
We don't have no unity and we can't build nothing.
How does that make y'all feel?
Pissed off.
Sad.
It's sick, man. Like, it's sick. It's real sick. And it's to the point to where, like, it's getting to the point to where we can't ignore this anymore. We can't. They like what they're right now trying to kill. What's his name? Ibram Troy. I can't even say his name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The dude from Africa. What's his name?
Ibrahim Traore.
Ibrahim Traore.
Yeah.
And they trying to kill this man right now. Right now. All because he's doing what? Self-preserving his people. Self-preserving his people means what to others? What does that mean?
To others, probably a coup.
Taken from me.
I mean, it's the same thing with the people. And okay, let's just use corporations. Let's put it in this perspective for you. Big corporations right now, Walmart, Target, all of these places, stuff like that. If we started creating our own forms of market and strictly go into eating the correct way, getting rid of all this bad food, dairy, sugar, all this stuff that's killing us, right? Because we choose to be self-sufficient. We choose to self-preservation of us as a people, et cetera, right? If we do that, what happens to them? What happens to these corporations?
They go under.
They lose.
It won't be.
It forces them to change to fit the people's needs.
What happens when we go directly to the source? Like right now, everybody's trying to go directly to the source. Man, I'm buying from China from now on. I'm not going to Louis Vuitton no more. I'm not going to Gucci no more. I'm not doing any of that. I'm buying straight from them now. What happens?
Cut out the middleman, so this less generation.
They
lose.
They start losing.
Reevaluate the trap.
They lose.
And they don't like to lose.
They do not like to lose. They will kill because they lose.
Yes, they will.
You got to understand what y'all did. Like, wake up, really, for real. Like, this is not a dream, as my brother would say. This is not a dream, suckers. Wake up. This is for real. It's so sad that we are dealing with a paper dollar. Paper. That you can't even take this paper and use it for nothing. Right? You can't use it for nothing. You can't feed yourself with it. You can't use it to conduct energy in any kind of way with it. None whatsoever. Right? And this is what somebody's right now getting their door kicked in for. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But see, and the point of me mentioning Louis Vuitton and Gucci and all of that is because it was at one point of time, like, okay, we go back and we look at the uniqueness of tribes, look at their culture, look how they're wear and their, how they did things. Like, it was theirs. So they amongst each other, they wore stuff that they created. So who cared that somebody's out from the outside source talked and say, you got on this, I got on Gucci. And they like, okay, well, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta really start thinking about that. So if people was to start creating their own and doing their own and selling their own and et cetera, what does it matter? And here's the thing, bro. I ordered from Shein. I ordered a lot of clothes from the last year, and you couldn't tell the difference. People wouldn't question shit because I got it on. All that nigga say is, "Oh, he dressed well, dressed very nice. I like that. Where you get that from, Shein?" What? Yep, sure did. Cheap as shit. I put that Gucci shirt on. I'm gonna sweat the same in it. I'm gonna be hot in it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna do all the same. It's gonna stain the same. It's gonna wash the same. Doesn't matter. I'm still gonna get the same compliment that I would get in a regular t-shirt, a Hanes t-shirt. That I press something on it. Doesn't matter. I'm just trying to get y'all to see something, yo. Something bigger and greater that you can fully understand yourself. Because right now, a lot of people living in is delusional and living in illusions right now. And, you know, you're not really seeing what's going on. You're not truly understanding that for the so-called African American, Africa is a continent, America is a continent. Why the hell would you let them call you those such things?
To confuse them.
Man, even to my Moorish people, Moorish American, Moorish is still a form. When you say Moorish, it just identifies the that you are of you got dark colored skin with maybe swarthy hair or something of that nature. It does not identify the nation of blood, etc. Moroccan does. Simple. It's the same trick. And the only failure that you have right now is establishing your own. And you have to. You're the only group of people on the face of this freaking earth that don't have your own. And all you got to do is look at what Trump's doing. People being sent back to their countries, no matter where the fuck they're from. But then when we get to you, whom they had to change the Constitution because you wasn't going to go decide to establish yourself. You wanted to be a part of what they are. Okay, come on. And everybody know what happens to the redheaded stepchild, right? Right?
Yep.
What happened? Wake up, man.
Like a slave. Get mistreated.
Down.
Just wake up, yo. And there's nothing wrong with knowing your place. It's always best to know your place, to know who you are, to know where you come from, and be able to go. But I'm gonna say this, what I will say for the people here in the United States of America, and I'm speaking of all people, one, you have to get back to God, get back towards the law of nature and to the law of things first and foremost. When I speak on individual people, what I have to do is, when I speak on the Black American people, you got to get back to understanding that the only reason, like somebody said, okay, we can't unite, right? And why do you think that there's no unity?
Because they putting that out there.
We're not trying. I mean,
It's only one. It's only one word. It's one word that y'all can say. Describe. Give me one word or why.
love.
Ego.
Ignorance.
God.
Come on.
Colonized.
Hey, that's a good one, but yeah. But it's one word, and that word is purpose. Purpose. You don't understand the purpose. You don't understand your purpose. And when you got a group of people who have no purpose, we're everywhere. There's no reason to unite because there's no purpose behind it. You see what I'm saying? You can say you Christian, but guess what? Everybody can be Christian. You can say you Muslim, everybody can be Muslim. It doesn't matter, right? Think about that. What's the
Right.
purpose though? What's the purpose behind you being you? Purpose is the reason why. And you want me to show you how I can prove its purpose? Okay. Tell me what's your purpose as a whole, as a group of people. Did your mom and them tell you? Did they give you something? Was they working on something and pass it on to you?
No.
Nope. We keep everything secret.
So did you know that was that? So therefore, you grew up without a what?
A purpose.
You grew up without a purpose. And here you are, a bunch of people here with no purpose. And that's the reason why you can go to church as many times as you want. You can pray. You can give money. You can do this. You can do that. You can go home. You can play basketball. You can do all this different type of shit. And you still, when you look back and have to really sit down and look at your people, because they damn sure going to remind you. All you can see is we have no purpose. Now, when you start realizing that purpose, and the purpose is to what? To restore. So in order to restore the identity of the people, if you got to go back and restore the people within itself, within its own national descent. Once you start getting to that, now we start talking about what? Liberty. Now we start talking about sovereignty as a state. Now that gives us a what?
Purpose.
Purpose.
And that purpose is greater than what?
Self.
It's greater than self. That's my point. Now, here's this thing. Now, once that correction happened, now we as people all over the earth, no matter who, what color, nationality, etc., we have a what?
Purpose.
And that purpose is to what? Jesus broke it all the way down to Jesus broke it all the way down to one commandment.
Love.
Love.
Thy neighbor as thyself.
That's the greatest purpose of all. I just got chills saying that.
Amen. Me
That's
too.
deep.
Me too.
Oh, man. It's a hard conversation for a lot of people to have, but it needs to be had. It needs to be said. Because just because a group of people decide to follow in purpose to bring back themselves into the fold of nations amongst other nations and people does not mean that they're not still a part of the greatest purpose of all, which is love. So to love your neighbor, meaning that we should be in what? Because Jesus wasn't talking to individuals. He was talking to who?
Nation.
He was talking to nations. Because nations were different in culture, different in their worship, different in their religion, different in their clothes, different in their way of doing things, correct?
Correct. Beliefs also.
So he also said this, and this was the thing. This is why, because he understood that, okay, if you are an alien in a country, right, make sure that you treat the strangers, which he was talking about aliens, make sure you treat them with the respect of law, with love. Do not cause harm to them because they are strangers. When they say stranger in the Bible, they're talking about a person being from another country that's in this particular, um, you know, country or whatever the case may be. That's what that means. Y'all do know that, right?
Right. Not of your nation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why he said, the way you judge, you will also be judged. Correct? Hmm?
He sure did.
I'm just telling y'all. So when you actually look at the truth, in order for us to be in this position, and we all talk about, I'm gonna say it like this. I gotta say it how we hear it and where we grew up. The white man this, the white man did that. What did you do to the white man first?
Stop liking them.
Hmm? What did you do to the white man first?
Consent.
Huh?
Existing while black.
Nah, you enslaved him. Yeah. That's the first slave.
Right.
Y'all know that, right?
I ain't look at it in that manner, but that's a good one.
You enslaved him. See, a lot of people like to say, oh, well, we taught them this. Okay. Own it then. Right? All of a sudden, we only just taught them good things. All right. Yeah. Own that shit. And I think a lot of people are afraid to own that. We all know energy, right?
Yep.
So the reciprocity of that, how do we end up here where we at right now? Because at first they were a people of no nation. You prostituted their women, right? Hmm? Come on.
Those tables always turning.
I'm just being honest. Like, this is what people don't want to really talk about and say. Like, what did you do to them first? So you got to think about someone that has the, because you got to think about this. You got to think about somebody that has the upper intelligence on you in the situation. One or two things they can do. They can be good to you and raise you up and bring them on your level, or they can manipulate you and keep you on a lower level. Right?
Yes, I agree.
It's the only two things that can happen. So now you got to look at, that's why I'm calling this out. Like, what did you do to the white man? What you do to him? All you got to do is go back and watch the old Planet of the Apes. Matter of fact, you can watch a new one. The newest one they just did. They're showing you. They telling you. They put it dead in your damn face. Right? But I remember growing up watching the old ones, and I noticed that all of the humans who were captive and enslaved were what? What were they?
White.
They were white. Caucasian, wherever you want to say. But I'm gonna use white for the term now because that's what we do here. That's how we identify shit. How many of y'all used to watch the old Planet of the Apes, the first ones?
I did.
And
I did.
she used to be like this.
Guilty.
I used to watch it all the time, for real. Because to me, growing up, that was amazing for me to see monkeys walking around talking. I actually thought that was freaking real, to be honest with you. When I was little, I didn't know what to think. I was like, where they at? These ain't at the zoo. But now that I'm older, I understand what they were showing and telling you. The universe always speaks, guys. Always. Daily. And what you were witnessing is the truth. And they're showing you that they were the first slaves. You enslaved them. You treated them like shit. You taught them this type of nature. And in order for them to survive, they had to learn this what?
This their way of nature.
Thank you.
Behavior. Behavior.
That's what they did. Now, I don't want to hear
They
it.
don't teach that in the textbook.
No, they're not. And okay, I don't want to hear about people thinking that we didn't have that type of nature. Go watch Shaka Zulu. Bro, that's the most horrific shit ever to watch. Soon as Shaka Zulu became the king, what did he do? What'd he do?
Start killing
Who he killed?
the white people.
Nah, he didn't kill them first. Who he killed?
Oh, his people. Then
He slaughtered his own folks. He killed the one he took the king from to be the king from. He killed every member in his family and left his brother alive to serve him. Did he not?
Correct.
Dang.
Did he not?
Yes, he did.
Okay, now when his brother finally gained the power at the very end, what they do to Shaka Zulu? What they do to him?
Killed him.
They killed him and who? Not just him.
His whole family.
They killed his whole entire family, every descendant, children and all. So that's what I'm saying. I don't want to hear that type of behavior was taught by. No, it was not. You can't claim to be the first beings and all this type of shit and then say, oh, well, we learned. No. This is own that shit. If you ain't never seen Shaka Zulu, go watch it.
I'm gonna go watch it. I've heard of him, but yeah.
Go watch it.
That's crazy. I got you.
We like to say, oh, well, we were kings, we were queens, we were empresses and emperors and all of that. Yeah, you were ruthless as fuck. Go back, watch it. Seriously, this for real, man. And it's like we think that we exempt. We're looking for a pity party when, okay, so now we saying, okay, well, the 400 years or 500 is up now. Okay, so now, if it's up, what are you supposed to be doing? What's the purpose? Nobody knows. We just hear like, okay, 400 years up, we're set free. What the fuck are you supposed to be doing? And that's because you forgot the what? What you forget?
The purpose.
The purpose.
I know my purpose.
That's real. Sorry I didn't come prepared for y'all today with a class.
No, this is what I needed. So all praise to the Most High.
Thank you. All in alignment.
But we got to have a real reality check with ourselves about everything, man. And this is for everybody. This ain't just for, I'm not just speaking to people that look like, I'm talking to everybody. The nature of man is ruthless. Very ruthless. You see what I'm saying? I told y'all last time that when they bit off the forbidden tree, what was that? Yeah, it was they learned sin right then. That's why it was forbidden, because they were told not to do it. Wasn't nothing special about the damn tree. It just don't eat it. And then when you eat it, when the tree was, when you ate from that tree, and that still exists for each individual right now to this day. Don't eat from the tree of sin. Don't be disobedient to the law of nature, to the law of God. When you do, you're gonna be punished. No one can escape cause and effect. Now, do I believe there is a such divine being that established themselves, that had to go through different trials and tribulations to remember and operate on a higher level of what we as man does? Then yes, I do. I think that's one. And even if we wasn't there or whatever, by the law of nature, by the law of energy, by reciprocity, etc., that has to be true. Some of y'all, if you don't get that part, then you might want to go study energy more. Do y'all understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now, was it possible for this individual to come and wipe away, like, okay, if you go and cause harm to someone? See, here's the thing. And that goes back to what I was saying. Like, I tell my people, hey, the state does not have forgiveness. There's no forgiveness in the state. The state has to serve and give justice. The state can't say, oh, well, we accept your apology. We forgive you, and go on. It don't work that way. It's not the state. And see, that's God. God, the law itself, there is no forgiveness. You must be punished for what you do. You will be. Life, eternal life already exists. Simple. It does. Because life is energy, right? It already exists. If you exist now, you've always existed. You existed since the beginning of time. Man, time, existence, all of that goes at, it's all one at hand. There's no such thing without it. You can't even think of, there's nobody in here that can think of a time that didn't exist. Can you? Can anybody?
Energy can't be created or destroyed.
Facts. But I want to know, can anybody in here think of a time that didn't exist?
Nope.
Now, and this is just a serious
Yes,
question.
sir.
Now, can you think of yourself now, past moments, and future?
You can.
So what does that tell you?
Infinite.
It tells you I am, I was, and I always will be.
Whew. Man.
I'm going to end with that. Y'all have a great and beautiful night, and I will have a great class for us come Wednesday.
Bless you, brother. Appreciate you again.
Appreciate you, Eric.
Peace, family.